your say. Call 850-6597 or text 57102 for 20 cents.
Dublin's Q102.
All right then, welcome back. We have our questions here. The obvious one, I suppose, from Stephen. If it wasn't for the big reunion, would you have got back together again? Or is this just like, wait, we've got 20 nights we can go, we can coin it in, and then we can park it?
Yeah.
It's a bit cheeky, Stephen, isn't it?
Well, it had come up a few times and we'd said no, so I think it was this opportunity that made it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think it would have been very difficult to do it.
I don't think we would have been able to sit in a room ourselves, probably, and get it all right without having to do it for camera, like.
Right, yeah.
So it did help.
Excellent, okay, so that's good. I'd like to ask you, which do they regret they didn't have a longer career first time round?
Yeah, because we had a great time, and it was like, you know, it was...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was...
It felt long.
It did feel long, but I think it would have been nice... Yeah, for it to be a bit longer.
Would have been nice to still be here.
Yeah,
Instead of having to be coming back.
Well, you're back. And that Carl's next point is, you know, so what do you think that in JLS splitting up right at the
I
height?
haven't discussed it. I'm upset.
Yeah, I don't think they
I really love them, and I'm really surprised by it. And I think just the way the world has gone and the business has gone, it's so much harder to come back and get back in. It's like, really? Like, they must, I don't know what they're doing, I don't know why.
And that's the whole point.
I'm sure they have their reasons.
Yeah, obviously, and then everyone's sort of conspiracy theorists are going, what happened there? Is there rows going on? Or
and it doesn't seem
somebody
so,
got a better deal?
It's almost like inevitable. You just get so burnt out that I think you all reach a stage personally that it just doesn't seem to be working for you. You know, or maybe they're, you know, Marvin's having a baby, or you just don't know, and they just want to move on to a different stage in their lives, and that happens.
There does come a point where you have to find yourself, and you can't do that within the group because you're literally working 16 to 20 hours a day. It's like, where can I find me?
Yeah.
So
People wouldn't think of that, of course. You know, and there are times I'm sure that you get fed up like any job.
Absolutely,
yeah. I know.
And you can't find yourself, and when it all ends, like, I'm sure the boys are going to be a bit like, oh my gosh, who's that in the mirror?
Right, okay.
Probably love it at the initial stages, but then
the novelty will wear off then after a while, particularly if you walk away from it at the height of it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Liam wants to know, in Deliri, who was the most famous person you met during the career?
Stevie Wonder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Where was that?
The Brit Awards.
Was it the Brit Awards? Yeah, when we did that medley. Yeah.
I mean, we met loads. Like, we met Whitney and Celine and...
Oh, Whitney, Celine, Jay Leno. There's tons of them.
There was, like... Then you have, like... The nowadays Jason or Justin Timberlake and
we toured with Justin like quite a few times. He's a great guy. Stevie Wonder was having a bad day that day. He was a bit grumpy. Felt really bad, and everyone was going, he's not very nice. So I was like, well, maybe he's just having a bad day. Because we used to get that if you had a bad day and you might kind of go at someone, and then you get a bad name and it's like, no, I'm just tired.
It's just one of those days. Otherwise you gotta go around with Vaseline on your lips to make you smile all the time.
Sometimes it's hard to paint the smile.
Yeah, it's better to be natural, isn't it? Better to be you rather than the persona. Was there a big moment during the career that really stuck out for you? You know, something simple like maybe, you know, private jet, here we go, or
did you do Concorde?
Oh, excellent.
Yes, flew to New York to do Regis and you know those Happy or whatever.
Regis Philby,
And I remember taking the salt and pepper shakers because they were so miniature, and I was like, oh, they're great, I'll have them. Royal Variety Show for me, actually.
Right.
Yeah, I grew up watching that.
So to be in it.
So to be in that and do that was just, I loved that.
I think for me it was just being on Jay Leno. I was just like, we're on Jay Leno and he's talking to us. Made it.
Superb.
Yeah, it was unreal.
Do you remember, Donnie and Marie Osmond?
Yes.
They had their own show in the States as well.
Girls. They came out once. They came out and said, you're single, Zig Zig or whatever that name was, and we were like, no, that's the other one. So funny.
Oh, you're a good man, Donnie. You should have said to me, Mum loves you, Donnie.
I know.
I would have got it back. And speak just of the parents, I mean, it must have been extremely proud, excited, over the moon, whatever.
Sinead's mum is gas.
Yeah. My mum would say, have the radio on and the TV on, like in the music channel, and anytime anything happened, she'd ring. She'd go, oh my God, you're on here and you're on there. It was just like
she had radios and TVs on in every room,
and they just went on the journey with you, because then all their friends and family just were so delighted for them, for you, and everything. So it was brilliant.
There was a moment that you couldn't get away from us, and that you could have the TV and radio.
You were wallpapered all over.
Do you know what Dad said to me the other day? He went to have lunch and he said he walked in and he rang me and he goes, it's been a while since I've walked in anywhere and seen you on the TV, and he had to ring me to tell me it was something like The Vault or some like chart show thing.
Stuff, brilliant. We always get this question, and there's a lot of people who want to know. They have talented daughters, they have talented son. How do you steer them into the music business, or is it best to let them find their own level? You know, some parents can be really pushy. Other parents are concerned, but they just want their kid to have a career.
I think it's best to let them find their own way anyway, because if you're going to push them, they're probably going to get it wrong at the wrong time. But unfortunately now, I think the best thing to do is probably The Voice and the X Factor auditions and all. Because it's really hard to get into the industry any other way.
Isn't it just? Yeah.
Really
hard. Dave and Cabra's a cheeky question. How long did you spend not talking or not in touch with each other after the band finished?
Sinead and I spent 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Wow.
Probably about 6 years.
Yeah.
But we would ring each other when we had babies.
Okay, all right, fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I had 3 and she's had 2, so 5 times.
Yeah, and we spoke a bit more than that, like, but
So 3 and 2?
Yeah.
What have you got, 2?
I have 2 girls and a boy.
Brilliant.
1 and a half, 3 and 5 and a half.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's hard work as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the full-time job.
Yeah.
And I have a 4.5-year-old and a 2-year-old, so
Oh,
they're all
excellent.
they're
Boy, girl,
little,
girl, boy, boy.
girl, boy.
Oh, okay, all right.
But you know, we should not have spent 6 years not talking enough.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And I'm so delighted to have done the big reunion and to realise that.
Yeah,
But you see,
that's great. Look at that.
Fair play.
He just went.
He's
What?
like
They just
this.
kissed.
He's raging. He hasn't got his camera ready in the studio. But sometimes you see, it's not like all human nature. The longer it goes on, the harder it is to put it back sometimes.
It is,
And it's sometimes just a simple phone call. And
I felt like that there needed to be so much spoken about to get us back on track.
Right.
When what it really was is that I needed to just be in her space and understand what this new thing was.
Yeah.
That's all it needed to be.
Okay. Sure, that's
Much less stress.
Yeah,
I know it's on that age.
Yeah, exactly.
And as you get older, you realise that you can do the least amount of stress around you.
Yes.
Is best.
Yeah.
Negative people, get rid of them.
Absolutely.
Stress, kick it out the door.
Hand it over.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or the other way around, leave your sense of humour outside the door if you haven't got it. You can't take a slag when they come in. Okay, we want to talk about the gigs,
Yes.
the future, which is all very exciting. Now we're going to do that after the break.
Okay.
Call Cooney. Weekday.